See. All right, hey everyone, welcome to our Team Power Blast call for April 26th, 2016. Special call tonight. We're going to learn all about Snapchat, what that is. And here's how much I know about Snapchat. I know Sean Ayala is our guest speaker. My Snapchat I've downloaded on my phone, so I get to create an account. I do not even have those little dots around it like many people have. So I am like super uber newbie when it comes to this, and many of you may be. And so Sean Ayala, many of you may or may not know, has been a coach on our team for several years. And you know, just recently, as I'm looking at some of the posts on Sean's wall, I'm seeing he's out doing these social media events around Snapchat, and he's getting recognized. He a Storyteller Award for Storyteller of the Year Award. He's been a speaker at many social media events. I think he was just a presenter down in San Diego, and Gary Vee was there. And you know, also you see Sean and Gary Vee on a little video there. It's like, dang, this guy's doing something with this. For many of us, I think, you know, this is another social media platform. And I'm sure many of us are going, okay, not something else. We just got Facebook Live. We just got Periscope. We just got all these things. What is it that you know, is this something new that we should look at? Or is it just one more thing? And so I started asking Sean if he would come on and just share what his journey has been with this, and just to kind of give us an introduction so we can maybe consider this as another tool for our toolbox, or maybe it is that platform that you just resonate with like Sean is, and you crush it and you just go for it and grow and build. So Sean, welcome to you. Thanks so much for coming on, making time for our call tonight, and for sharing all your wisdom with Snapchat. And let's see if we can get Perry off the login screen and something a little bit more, okay?
Well, awesome. Well, thank you, Perry. I appreciate you having me. I am excited about this app. So I think there is, maybe I'll start off with saying Snapchat isn't for everyone, right? You really got to find the tool, to your point, Perry, the tool that works for you. So 2 years ago, I decided to go all in on Snapchat, and I decided to make it my primary social network. And I have not regretted that ever since. So I use all my other social media channels as a secondary platform. And I'll also start by saying, I think in this moment, for anyone who wants to be a rock star in their niche, they can definitely do that on Snapchat. If they're willing to go all in. Because right now it's still new. There is no discovery. If you have an audience, you can leverage it and really stand out and get word of mouth building for you. So I'll start there. So let's start with an overview. So what is Snapchat? Snapchat is an image messaging app. It's a mobile social network at its core, but it's really a text messaging app where users engage through short form video and photos, which we call snaps, that eventually disappears. So you're creating content on a platform that disappears. And then, so I'll talk about why Snapchat. 80% of the users are between the ages of 13 and 34. You might be thinking, is that your demo? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. 65% of that is 18 to 34. And then the other 20% is ages 34 to 55. I will say over 200 million engaged daily active users are on the platform. So it is huge. And oh, by the way, Snapchat is seeing over 8 billion video views each day. And if you think about that, so Snapchat was created in 2011. So here today, we're at 8 billion video views. Facebook started in 2008, and they're just reaching 8 billion video views. So Snapchat is really accelerating the way people are using and consuming that app. And I think Snapchat is positioning themselves for that generation to be the Facebook for them, if that makes sense. So right now we're all on Facebook. We're using Facebook Live. We're using Facebook Messenger. Snapchat is positioning themselves for that younger demo to be on Snapchat, to use everything of Snapchat. And if we're planning on selling products or making them our future buyers, it's definitely an app we want to consider, because today, this generation, the 13 to the 34 generation, aren't going out asking for phone numbers anymore. They're asking for people's snap codes. So they're already intertwined in this snap code mentality where they're asking people for the code. So just going forward, I think that's going to be huge. And then I just quickly wanted to throw in, and you guys will know these stats better than I do, but 30% of 20 to 39-year-olds are obese in US. So it's right around that age range, right? And 17% of 2 to 19-year-olds are obese in the US. So the demo is there. They're on the platform. It's whether or not you want to use that as another tool to take advantage of it. And then let's go into what makes Snapchat different than all the other social sites. Because I know the question is, you had mentioned it earlier, why do I have to use another social media platform? I'm already maintaining Facebook. I'm already maintaining Twitter. I'm already maintaining Instagram. Why Snapchat? So I'll start with saying Snapchat isn't Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. What we do today on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is we repurpose content. We'll take our Facebook and we'll put it on Instagram. We'll take that same image, repurpose it on Instagram. Snapchat does not allow you to do that. You have to create content in that platform. And if you really think about it, if you wanted to try and do something different, because I believe right now there's a lot of noise on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, right? Like organic reach is at 1%. The only way you can get seen on these platforms is that you got to pay to play, right? With Snapchat, it's different because if you're leveraging your community you already have, you'll have an engaged audience where the view on Snapchat is far greater than an impression on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So I'll just throw that out there, and we can talk about this later as well. And then on Snapchat, so what makes Snapchat different? You can create daily stories in 10-second video or image increments that can be viewed up to 24 hours. So content lasting for 24 hours, I 100% believe is a good thing. A lot of people say, why would I want to create content that only lasts for 24 hours? If you think about it, your Facebook and your Twitter feed, how long does that really last there anyways? It comes and goes, right? So people get worried about this 24-hour longevity. I think it's a benefit on Snapchat because if your content is worth watching, FOMO is real. And I don't know if you guys know what FOMO is. It's the fear of missing out. And I think a lot of people, especially on a platform where you're creating content that disappears, and if it's worth talking about, they are totally engaged in wanting to see what Perry have to post next if it's worth watching, right? Versus Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, it's just a news feed and you're fighting through the noise kind of thing. The other thing that makes Snapchat different is there are no ads or distractions whatsoever. So when you create content, it is you and the viewer. So it's one-on-one. You're building this relationship through the screen with no other things distracting or a squirrel to get that viewer away from you on the screen. The other cool thing that makes a difference is the user decides who they want to see. So it's you're not forcing content on anyone. That end user gets to decide whether or not I want to watch Perry or Gretchen or Michael. Like it's their choice, which I think is beneficial from a Beachbody coach perspective, because what you also get in Snapchat is the ability to see who is actually viewing your content. You can't really see who's viewing your content in Facebook unless they like your post. You can't really see who's viewing your Twitter content unless they like your tweet, right? So I always think about those lurkers out there that we all want to know who's watching our content, right? Snapchat gives you the ability to see who that lurker is, and you can see consistently if they're watching your videos, your snaps constantly, which opens up opportunities for you to engage with that individual, right? So you'll know immediately with Snapchat. Another thing that makes a difference is it's just fun turning your day into micro stories on the fly. I mean, you can actually download your content from Snapchat and repurpose it to Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Really?
So, yep. So the cool thing that I always talk about with Snapchat is it forces marketers, brands, individuals to create content that is native in the platform, right? So you're creating these little snippets of videos, stitching them together 10 seconds at a time using the doodle tool, because in Snapchat, you can doodle on video and images. In Snapchat, you can place text on these images and videos. You can also place emojis on these texts and videos. So I think on these image and videos. So you're creating content that is completely different than Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you download that content and push it on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, you now have something that's totally different than what everyone else is doing with images and pictures, right? Like you can have some little sound bites of 10-second videos to kind of talk about what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So for me, I think that's what makes Snapchat different than all the other sites. So now, is Snapchat for you? It's really something you have to decide, right? Like if the target demo that I talked about isn't within your demo, you do have an audience already that you can leverage on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Because if you're able to drive them to your Snapchat account, they will more likely be able to see the content you're pushing on Snapchat over the other platforms, right? Again, I talk about that noise and how it's hard to break through the noise and the ads and all that information that is really pushing at us on these other platforms. Snapchat just doesn't do it that way. And then the way the app is actually set up. So Snapchat is set up into two sections. There is the stories section, and then there is a chat section. So imagine you go into Snapchat, and especially for coaches, I think this is where it really gets important. So stories, which is a one-to-many area. So you create content that pushes out to many people who are following you. And that's the content that you create that stitches together videos and images for everyone to see within a 24-hour time period. This is where I think like the benefit comes in for a Beachbody coach, because now I get to see what Perry is doing. I can see the moment he wakes up, if he decides to capture that moment. I can see exactly what he's eating if he decides to put that on Snapchat. I can finally see the foods he's buying in the moment if he decides to share that, right? Like I can see the two people he's recruiting every single day if he gets on the screen and say, here's person number one, just want to introduce you. Here's person number two, just want to introduce you. So that way, you're kind of sharing this story of just Perry and who he is, what I'm about and what I'm talking about is real. I am showing you I am the product of the product. I am showing you I am the billboard. I am showing you that I am talking to two people and hopefully inspiring other coaches or other people about this business. about why you want to join Beachbody, right? So I think the story component is really, can be really utilized in a way to validate that you are who you say you are, if you wanted to take that angle. And that's just the first angle I'm thinking about when I think about how stories can be used. And then there's that chat side, which allows you to do FaceTime with people. So it's one-on-one. You can do FaceTime. You can send short video clips. You can send short motivational audio clips. If you see this one person keeps watching your story over and over, but never engages with you or reach out to you, you can quickly send them a little audio quote of you, right? You can do collaborations in the chat feature one-on-one in the Snapchat app. There's just some really creative things that you can do from a follow-up perspective or motivational perspective with people one-on-one. So I think that's a benefit as well. I actually also believe that the app positioned themselves perfectly to meet the goals that coaches are focused on, at least from my perspective. So I think about two things. I think the things that we are focused on, one is product and the other one is people, right? So when I think about product, one, we want to sell product. And second, this app will confirm to others, the proof, right? Like what I talked about, instead of just selling the product or posting a link to our product, we can show that we're drinking Shakeology. We can show that we're doing P90X. And people can see that day to day if we decide to post that day to day, right? Because Snapchat, you can create stories, you can document what you're doing every single day, and you can kind of push in that product. And not push it in because you're using it anyways. You're a product of the product. You're the billboard, right? People will consistently see that you are doing the things you're talking about. And then when I think about people, two things are maybe. So when I think about people, I think about recruiting, and then how we can inspire people, right? Because I think like that first 30 days, we get someone that's so excited. Or if you're trying to inspire someone and they're in 30 days and they're like, yes, I'm going to do it. And then day 31, they feel discouraged. They feel it's too hard. They feel like they can't do it anymore, or they're not getting the results they want. But if you are on Snapchat documenting what you are doing, that's going to continue to inspire them, because they're like, yep, I got that idea. Perry was in the grocery store and he picked up romaine lettuce or whatever it is. I need to get that too. Or he's waking up at 4:30 and he's making it happen, because it's lasting for 24 hours. They'll say, I got to do it too. If Perry can do it, I can do it. Or he showed the two people that he talked to. And if Perry can do it, I can do it too. So I think just from a storytelling perspective, you can really get people to engage on the platform. Because even through the experience that I had with Snapchat, so I had a 0 following on all social media platforms before I started Snapchat. Like I just didn't have a following. But the moment I went all in, I grew a following from 0 to 1,000 within 10 weeks. And then after that, it just skyrocketed because of the type of content I was creating. And then, so the other thing people always ask me is, do I have to create content on this platform every single day? Because you're documenting your life kind of thing. I actually believe as long as you're creating good, not even, because it's not about quality. It's about stories, like really good storytelling, micro storytelling that is just quality, but not as in lighting, just more of getting value out of it. That kind of dictates how often you should post. So like I know a lot of people who create stories every single day on the platform, and that can kind of get boring. I post at the minimum once a week, but I make sure it's good enough that people will talk about whatever it is I created on the platform. but I think it's different for a coach too, or not even a coach, just anyone who's like from a fitness perspective. I think what you continue to do, like you're exercising and you're eating well, like I think all that people wants to see. I think about a gentleman, his name is Brian Fanzo, and his strategy is think like a fan. So if you can think from a perspective of a fan and what a fan would want to see, I think it would be a perfect home run on how to use Snapchat in your marketing or in your business, to inspire others to change the way they view and do life. So I think from there, Snapchat is really about storytelling, which is different from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even YouTube, because you have the ability to record snippets of your entire day, piece by piece, stitch them together in a story for people to see and go along with you on this ride and journey. So,
can you share with us what would be like a story that you've done? I mean, I may not be Beachbody stuff. You became Storyteller of the Year that's got this award. What would be like a great story that you told throughout the day that people just like, wow, let's watch it?
So for me, honestly, I decided not to take the angle of telling a story. I think the last story that I created that was really about me was when I had won my award. I actually decided, like, my strategy on Snapchat is different from many people. Like, if I had to think about it, like, I would create stories of like me going into a grocery store, and like I put a title on there that says, Sean's grocery shopping list, and I would go in and I would draw a checklist on a picture, and then I would go down every aisle and I'm like trying to check off this checklist on my phone to just, one, entertain people, but two, actually educate them on the product, like on the things that I'm going to eat. But I definitely don't take it. I don't create stories from a personal perspective. I'm creating stories to entertain people.
Okay. Well, a couple things popped in my mind. There's a lot of people on our team that embrace the Miracle Morning. And I don't know if you've ever read that, Sean. Great book. And I think a lot of people you go through and snaps your morning. I love the idea of think like a fan. I saw, because I'm getting to this question of how easy is it to set up and to do, because I think, at least from my point of view, I'm already stuck in getting started to even think of what I would do. But I saw one by Gary Vee the other day. I think it was probably a sequence of maybe 10 videos. They were only 10 seconds long, but he told an entire lesson or an entire thought or whatever it was that he was giving, like almost like a speech. But he did it all throughout his day. And I don't even know how he was able to end one thought and continue the other, but it was like one continuous thing. But he was in all these different spots and walking around and doing all these different things. I thought it was really clever. I see Ty Lopez. He used to be a coach on our team. He is doing a lot of Snapchatting and stuff like that. So, I mean, a lot of people are doing it. But how easy is it to get started and, how scary is it?
And actually, it's fairly easy. It's just logging in. Snapchat gives you the ability to, you start on the camera screen, and you can press the button to take a picture, or you can hold the button to take a video. And in the case of Gary Vee, and a lot of storytellers out there, because I think stories stands out through the noise too on Snapchat, because Snapchat's only going to get bigger and bigger. And I think the way for people to stand out is through stories. And I think like Gary Vee, he's continuously remembering what the previous snap is that he have in his story, because you can actually go back and view what you have happening. So he's continuously adding to it. And you can keep doing that throughout the day wherever you are. Because I always like to say, when you're ever creating content on Snapchat, whatever that segment is, make sure it has a beginning, middle, and end, and then transition the story to someone else, and you just transition it in those 10-second increments. So it's really just stitching those things together to create a story. Because then at the end of the day, you can download that all, edit it up if you wanted to, or just download it in its entirety and just post it to social medias, to your other social media sites.
Okay. The one thing I'm really liking is, I'm guessing it doesn't take a lot of time because you've only got little 10-second increments. I'm guessing probably the time-consuming thing is if you wanted to do a little overlay graphic, it's probably a little bit more time-consuming. And I'm guessing that it's probably pretty easy to not feel stuck like, oh my gosh, I got to create the perfect content because it's gone in 24 hours, right?
Exactly. So the cool thing about, actually, let's see if I can. Yeah, the cool thing about Snapchat is the ability to create just raw videos in the moment, right? Like, because that's what it is. Let's see if I can go to another screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, it's great. I love that you've got AirPlay on there too. We can see your phone. That's cool.
Let's see.
And I'm sure the team has many questions here. I just was buzzing down a bunch of questions that popped in my head as we went along here. And I know we've got a lot of people on mute. It's great.
Or actually, maybe it won't go to it. Let's see. Because you can't see my phone right now, right?
You had it on for a second. You were on it. There you go. Right there. You're there.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So like in Snapchat, if we open up the app, right, like there's this button right here. And if you hold it, it's recording. The red is going around for up to 10 seconds. So I'm saying my first thought. And then if I want to end it in 5 seconds, I can. And it will just replay. And then I can just, so now you don't see me, right? Because it's showing me what I just recorded.
Oh, you switched screens. It went away from your phone. Okay, there you are. Good. Gotcha.
And then I can send it to my story. And I can keep adding 10-second thoughts. If I'm working out, I can just quickly say, I'm about to get my workout in. I'm going to do Insanity plyometric, whatever that is, and show a little clip of me doing it. And then at the end of it, another 10 seconds, show the sweat kind of thing. So you're just constantly adding to your story by either, here's a picture that I just took, and then there's this color wheel at the top where you can just doodle on your images. This is where I get creative and do some real drawings on here. Or you can just add text. Today's show. You could just really get clever and create stories that stitched together that complete an entire thought if you wanted to. So it's really just thinking in 10 seconds at a time.
Let's see this.
If that makes sense.
So how do you build that audience? Okay, you start creating stuff. People just all of a sudden find you, or are you publishing it out there? Are you doing little tags? Are you how's it going? I mean, how does that work?
Yep. So the downfall of Snapchat is that there is no discovery There is no discovery within the app. It's a negative and a positive all at the same time, because you actually dictate how your audience grow, and it's not about you getting on a popularity board, right? So one of the ways that I think, or actually one of the ways that I've grown my audience, is that whenever you sign up with Snapchat, they give you this is called a snap code. And this snap code you can download or share to any of your social media. One thing I always recommend is taking this snap code and posting it, or actually using it as your bio, as your avatar on Facebook, your profile pic on Facebook, your profile pic on Twitter. So that way people can see you're on Snapchat, right? Right now, people are just adding people when they see this snap code. So it's just one of those things that are helping people grow their following. I also think, or actually the other way that I know that works too, is Snapchat gives you a URL, which is fairly new. And whatever your username is, you can use the link www.snapchat.com/add your username. And I would post that in my bio links. In my bio, I would post a link in my bio on all my social media sites. I would put it on all my website, like in the footer, if you have like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like add an icon. That's the Snapchat code. Your Snapchat URL. Because what that URL does is if you're on a mobile device, it will open up. Once clicked, it will take you directly to Snapchat, so that person can add you. So that's another way. A third way that I always believed in, which helped me from the beginning, was I created content in Snapchat with a 0 following. And then I downloaded that content and I posted it to all other social media channels, leveraging whatever little audience I had there. And I hashtagged them. I tagged people who I thought would benefit from it. So that way they can see I'm on Snapchat. So it's a little growth hack that you got to kind of do. But I think if you have an audience already and you leverage it, you can. So like putting that snap code in your email signature, putting the URL in your email signature as well. Like there's all these opportunities that you can use the snap code and the URL to just get the awareness out there that you are on Snapchat, and people will follow. The last one I think is really important right now for anyone, because I think what you're doing with this call right now, you're at the perfect moment. I think everyone's at the perfect moment right now to really take advantage of what's happening on Snapchat and this growth that everyone is seeing. So kudos to that. But there's a website there's an iOS app called Ghost Codes. And once you get your snap code, you can upload your snap code to this app. Ghost Codes is the discovery channel or the discovery method that Snapchat does not have. And they have categories in Ghost Codes app where it's health and fitness, artists, storytellers. So if you're able to get you can actually upload your Ghost Code to that app, and you can start leveraging the eyeballs that's on that app right now, because they just came out about a month and a half ago. You can really build your community that way as well, and inspire and gain a whole new audience that you haven't had in the past.
It sounds like a fun app for sure. Sean, do you need to share your screen anymore?
I don't think so.
Otherwise, we'll bring you back to see your smiley Snapchat face on our video screen, and then we're just going to see if anybody has any questions that's typed in here. Corinne said still very new to all this. That's all of us, Corinne, I think. I know that Becky Perko on our team has I think she's Beachbody Mama is her snap code. She's the only one on our team I know that's signed up. How long would you suggest the length of a video? Well, you can only go to 10 seconds, but maybe there's something more to that question.
Because you can do 10-second increments. So you can create stories up to 24 hours if you wanted to, if you just keep adding these 10-second increment videos to your story, because all it does is compile into 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I typically say 2 minutes is really good, but if you're documenting your day, you're documenting your day. So that can be as long as you want it to be. But at the end of the day, I would say as long as it's your storytelling in a way that is allowing your audience to engage and interact with you, I think regardless of the length, it's all about engagement and interaction.
Is it good to have a strategy, or just each day, just like, you know what, I'm going for it and just making it up as I go along? Or, is it like, No, each week I want to make sure I send a message across, or each week I want to make sure that this is my theme, my niche on how I do Snapchat.
Yeah, I actually think so. My immediate thoughts would be have a Flex Monday, right? Where you're inviting your audience to flex for you. And you kind of, because in Snapchat, when they send you videos, like they'll send you a video or an image through the chat side of it.
Oh.
You can screenshot those images. So you'll say, today is Flex Monday. Send me your you flexing. And then you screenshot everyone who sent you these images, and then you send those images to your computer, or if you have another mobile device like I do, you send it to another mobile device, and then you take a picture of a picture, or you can take a picture of the picture on the screen. Because Snapchat does not allow you to upload any images, does not allow you to upload any videos. Everything is raw and in the moment, right? So I would say have a Flex Monday or a Monday motivation to get people going. Like I would theme it out where you have a Friday giveaway maybe, or, you know, a Shakeology giveaway on Fridays where you ask people to doodle or draw or send you something creative to participate in a chance to win a Shakeology packet, right? So I really believe if have some strategies that kind of gives you at least creating content on the platform once a week. So I always have my Monday motivation. I've been thinking about a Wednesday giveaway, and I'm thinking about a Friday this week in Snapchat kind of thing. So like at least I'd have 3 things always consistent happening, and then I just intertwine my day or stories within that.
Cool. By the way, team, you probably don't know this or not, but Sean was kind of the leader in Beachbody when it came to Shakeology samples back in the day. I'm going into the little time machine here. When Shakeology came into the individual sample packets, Sean came up with a creative way that people could go online and buy like a little 3-pack. And it freaked a lot of people out, like, how can that happen? But, you know, he didn't discount or anything like that. But he had a very, very clever way of doing it. And that really caught Beachbody's attention. It caught a lot of people's attention to go, you know what, I should get samples in people's hands. So anyway, that's a little side note. Team, some of you probably have some questions right now. I'm going to put it on grid view. And if you want to unmute and ask Sean while he's on there, this has been great information, Sean, for us beginners here. But does anybody have any questions for Sean? Oh, we got Debbie on. All right, cool.
Yeah, even if it's in detail, I mean, I'm open to any question.
Yeah. Well, by hand raise, are any of you going to attempt with Snapchat, even get an account? Some of you are? Okay. Yeah, I will sign up, definitely, but I'm just watching this guy crush it.
I have one question.
Yep.
So like when you do your Snapchat and then you are building up your audience and stuff, how do you after a while start inviting people to like your challenge groups or becoming coaches or anything like that through the Snapchat? Is that all through your discussion of story or on the side, or what do you do there?
So, so if I understand it right, so you're asking how am I adding people into groups?
Yeah, like our challenge groups and stuff. So like we're telling our story through Snapchat and stuff, right? But how does that bring them over to what we're doing? Like bring them into our challenge groups and bring them into our coaching and things like that. Like how do we transfer them into what we're actually trying to promote?
Yeah, so good question, because I think Snapchat is really at its core storytelling first, right? So yeah. It's showing them the groups that you're putting together. It's showing them the successes that you're having with these groups, right? Yeah. And then at the end of it, like, because it's really about stitching together that story. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, you're asking for that call to action. Whereas if you want to join, you know, screenshot the next snap with your website address on it, maybe. Or if you want to learn more on how to get into these groups, message me. So like, I never try to hard sell on Snapchat. It's funny, a lot of the things that I do on Snapchat has nothing to do with the blog that I have, or the information that I give, or the courses that I have. It's really about showing people who I am and the type of person that I am, and then they find me through all that other stuff. But as long as you're stitching together stories that get them interested and intrigued, then people will start asking, how can I get into that? Or they may just reach out to you. But there's two ways. You can just go that route where it's more of driving awareness, or at the end of all these stories, you can ask for that call of action and say, do you want to join? Send me a snap, or send me a question, kind of thing.
Okay. That answers it.
Thanks. Anybody else? I think Gretchen, you unmuted for a second there. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he had seen my question about ghost codes. Is that just on iOS, or is that on Android as well?
It is on iOS. It's only on iOS at the moment. It will be available on the Android in about a week.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay, because I don't have Android.
So it's coming soon, yeah.
We are going to be so in with all these kids. It's awesome.
Yeah, and again, to that point, like I know we keep, the demo is 13 to 34, but right now, so I've been on this platform for 2 years, right? And my core audience was the 13 to the 24, 28 audience. But now in this last few months, it has skewed dramatically towards the other side, because all these marketers, and even like you, Perry, for asking about it, there's a lot of talk around this platform, and brands are hopping on this left and right now. Like Lowe's just got on it. IBM is talking about it, and they're on it now. Like, all these major brands are starting to hop on this platform because the demo is starting to widen up, just like Facebook did, right? In the beginning, Facebook was really for the kids, and then all the parents started hopping on, and then all the kids left it to go to Snapchat. So now the parents are starting to get on this platform as well, and everyone is starting to get on it. So I think there's just a huge opportunity for you guys to really take advantage of the views and the engaged audience. And another point too I want to make too is you don't have to be on Snapchat to be on Snapchat. And what I mean by that is Snapchat right now offers what they call on-demand geo-filters, which I absolutely love taking advantage of. If you don't understand what a geo-filter is, here, let me see if I can quickly pull one up. I'm going to take a picture on my phone. And if I swipe here, so because I live in Southern California, this is called a little geo filter. Like, it adds a location-based image of where I'm at. What I do is whatever event I go to. I recently went to an event in Austin, Texas, and I knew that I was going to be at a banana bash where we were all dressed up in bananas, and we were going to break this world record of the most people in bananas. So I created a filter that had a picture of me on it, and it said, "Going bananas yet?" Or, "Are you going bananas yet?" And I paid $7 to have it geo-targeted in this building that all these thousands of kids were going to be in. And $7, couple hours, I got over 100,000 views, and over 400 people used that geo filter in their own Snap story. So I think about how incredible this would be if you're at an LA fitness event, or just one of those fitness events. And there's many people who are on Snapchat right now who are utilizing this. They can filter through a geo filter and see your image, your Beachbody information, whatever that is, kind of informing them that maybe they should consider you or come talk to you about, the business. So you don't have to actually create stories on the platform. You can take advantage of the advertising tools that are on Snapchat. And right now it's really inexpensive. And I know at one point coming up soon, they're going to raise the money on these, but it's definitely something you guys can take advantage of to at least get in front of the audience to see if it's worth your while.
Wow. Some things to learn. Well, I think just from what I saw with the text or the little chat that we have here, sounds like several people have a Snapchat account. So I was making some assumptions that many of us were brand new with it. So, but that's really great information, guys. Is this valuable for you? Is it helpful for you? Guys getting some things? Excellent. I know that Bobby Joe wanted to know if you can go back into your little Word document and find out what the obesity rate was. I think was that your question? The ratio on obesity again? I think it was.
Yeah, so I was trying to compare it to, so like again on Snapchat, 80% of the users are between the ages of 13 and 34, and then 20% of the audience is 34 to 55. So I quickly researched this, and it said 30% of 20 to 39-year-olds are obese in the U.S. And the numbers that I'm referencing on Snapchat is U.S. users. And then 17% who are the ages between 2 and 19 are obese as well. So I think it's like right there in that upper end demo for Snapchat that I think is a huge opportunity to help inspire and change some lives.
Sweet. I do have one other question. When you're setting up your new account, should you keep within your typical branding? Like my branding is just Perry Tinsley, or my website's Put Yourself First. Stick with that, or something creative, fun, out of the box sort of thing?
Great question. I recommend 100% to match your other social channels. So if you're like me, I'm Sean Ayala on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I make sure it's Sean Ayala across the entire board, so that way there is no confusion on who to look up. Because in Snapchat, you either need that snap code, or you need that URL, or you need to know that person's username. So if it's Perry Tinsley on Twitter, make sure it's Perry Tinsley on Snapchat.
So when somebody asks for your code, how do they get it? I mean, I don't understand that one. I just give people my username.
So on Snapchat, when you get your code here, there's this share icon at the top. Actually, when you press it, you can hit this share icon. Sorry, let me see if I can do it again.
So is it like a Q code, a QR code?
Exactly. It's exactly like a QR code.
Okay.
So you can post it on Twitter, post it on Instagram. I mean, post it wherever you want to, pretty much, or you can send it in a message. What will happen is whoever gets that QR code, when they want to go and add a friend in their options, they can go add a friend, and then there's an area, that says add by snap code. So when they click on add by snap code, it looks through your photo reel, your photo gallery for that snap code, and you press it and it adds them in.
Awesome. Oh, that is so much easier.
So is that, or the URL actually links, like if you're just like the URLs that we all use, if you place that on a Facebook post, they click on that with their mobile device, it directs them directly to an add link or button in Snapchat.
Awesome. Sean Ayala, you've given us some great stuff, and hopefully if we could schedule it again once we all become these Snapchat novices, or at least a little more advanced, maybe we can dig into some of your expertise on digging in deeper. Would you be open to that?
Yeah, I definitely think there's an art to storytelling on Snapchat, which I can definitely try to break down for you guys. But I think the why and is it for you is probably more important. I actually would just end by saying, if you're kind of skeptical about getting on Snapchat, I would recommend going in 100% for at least a week. Like, get in there, use the tools, create the content. Because what you can do with that content is still download it, share it on all the other social media channels. So you're not just creating content and wasting your time for the sake of wasting time, right? You create it, you leverage all your social media platforms, and within that week or 2 weeks, whatever you decide to go all in with using Snapchat, you will find whether or not the audience that you currently have is on Snapchat. Because if you see them converting over to Snapchat, then you know you probably want to start paying a little bit more attention to Snapchat, because they're there and they're consuming content there far greater than they are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Great advice. Great advice. Hey, Sean, I know that you've got some great training and some free downloadable things that people can get. I just signed up for one of your things, but if you can give us your website, which I think is pretty simple. I put it in the chat, but go ahead and say it for those watching the recording.
Yep. So if you guys are interested in learning the basics on navigating Snapchat, learning how to send your first snap, doodling, or using a text tool, I have a free course. It's on SeanAyala.com, or you can go to startsnapchat.com. You can sign up. It's a weekly email. Actually, it's a daily seven email course. And I don't sell your information. I don't do anything with it. I just provide value on Snapchat, and that's where you can go.
Oh man, brother, you brought it today, and thanks so much. I guess call to action for anybody on our team is to, give it a whirl for a week. That's what I plan on doing, and got to get it set up other than downloading it. But great tips. I hope everybody got some great value out here. I'm sure that there might be some more questions that come along, but Sean is within the team, so you can just do a little tag whenever he gets back to Facebook. You might only be able to find him over on Snapchat. I don't know, but anyway.
Yes. If you have any questions, snap me. Now, I feel free to reach out to me anytime. I really do love talking about the platform. So if there's any tips, tricks, a lot of hacks, I do write about them as well. You can find that too. So, but don't hesitate to reach out. I appreciate it, Bill.
You bet. Hey, everyone, you have yourself a fantastic week. Let's rock the rest of we've got just a few more days. Let's crush Success Club and finish April strong. And thank you so much, Sean. It's awesome. Great stuff.
No problem.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Good night, everyone.